Your Excellency, the President of Somaliland, Your Excellency, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and Your Excellency, the Chairman of the Elders' House, Your Distinguished Excellency, the Leader of Opposition. I think I have the distinguished honor of sitting on the same table with the President and the Leader of Opposition. And they sit opposite each other. I was watching both of them to see, and it was all very amicable, which is, of course, what democracy is all about. I cannot claim, like Greg, or being here 6 times, but I can claim that both in my public life and in my private life, I have been a very close and keen watcher of events in Somaliland. And I did not lose time to concur to come here when I got the nod from the President. Because for me, it's an opportunity to learn on the ground, to learn firsthand, and to understand the aspirations, the fears, the prospects, and the achievements here in Somaliland. But let me underline the point made by the Minister of Finance. When it comes to African governments and African countries taking a positive side with you, you will find it a little bit not so easy. And the reason is simple. There is no African country that does not have seed or seeds of separation within it. And they are afraid that if they are seen as being on your side, it may encourage breakup of their own country. As you know, I had to fight for the unity of my country. And if you ask any Nigerian, you say, hey, what do you think of Somaliland? He will hesitate to give you a positive answer. But as the Minister of Finance has said, part of the problem is that the case of Somaliland is not fully understood. And I believe it will be your responsibility to make the African community, all the countries in Africa, to understand your case, and beyond that, the international community to understand your case. And you have, if not an outstanding case, you have what I will call an excellent case. But whatever you have in these days and age, you have to package it and market it. I believe you have to package and market your case. We have come to learn, as I said at first hand. We have come to see, look and see. We have come to watch. We have come to hear. And I must say, so far, it has been tremendously rewarding. We spent a good time, part of our time this morning, or is it afternoon, with the Speaker of the House and the Chairman of the House of Elders. And their briefing, their presentation was immaculate. And I want to thank you again for the presentation and the education you gave us. We left there and we went to the court, and we met most of the judges, if not all of them, with the Attorney General. And again, very impeccable briefing and presentation. Now, for me, as a friend of Somaliland, I cannot be seen to be crying more than the bereaved. And you understand what I mean by that. I can cry, but I cannot be seen to be crying more than the bereaved. And that brings me to what I said earlier on. You have to package and you have to market. And I must thank Brentford's Foundation, which I'm chairman of, and of which Greg Mill is the CEO, because we are here at the instance or being sponsored by the Brentford Foundation. And the president was asking me, what does Brentford's Foundation do, and how does he do it? Well, Brentford's Foundation is the family foundation of the Oppenheimer family in South Africa. Oppenheimer family came from Germany, and they started Anglo-American more than 100 years ago. They made money, and I think they divest themselves of part of the interest in the company. And part of the money they made from there, they used in establishing Brentford's Foundation. And the aim of Brentford's Foundation is to help African countries in their economic development. So, Mr. President, one of the things we do through Brentford's Foundation is, if any country or any government asks us to help them on economic issues, we immediately put together a powerful group of experts, and we look into whatever they want us to look into and make and submit report. We've done that for Malawi, we've done it for Zambia, we've done it for Ghana. We even do it for state governments, or provincial government as they may be called. We have been doing something for Lagos State in Nigeria, and only when we started this journey, we got request from the provincial government in Mombasa to do something like that. But we do it pro bono. We don't charge a dime. And and we do it with the best set of experts that are available for the job that we have to do. That's the first thing we do. The second thing is we've lay on workshops, roundtable talks and discussions, conferences on specific subject of interest to any country or to any region or even to the continent. And we submit report, and people make use of the report that we submit as they find it or deem it necessary. The third way we do our work with the Brentford Foundation is that we write books. We have written 2, and we are in the process of writing a third one. The first one we wrote is this one, Making Africa Work. It's all about the economy. What can African countries do? What have they done when we look at the past? Where have they fallen behind and why? What are the prospects for future and all that? But when we found the book so successful, and we said to ourselves, this is only one leg, economy in any country. Governance is a second leg. And of course, if you have bad governance or bad politics, you will have bad economy. So we decided to do a second book, which we titled Democracy Works, Rewiring Politics to Africa's Advantage. And on page 229 of this book, we actually cover Somaliland, what we have seen, and we put it is to pay compliments to what you have achieved. But let me say 2 more things before I make the presentation of these 2 books to the President. One is, what you have done right, keep doing them right. And what you have done wrong, desist from doing them wrong. For now, you have done right holding yourself together and getting yourself up by the straps of your boots. I believe that the difference between your country and Somalia and South Sudan is that there are too many outside hands in their pie. And that is why their pie is neither steady nor peaceful. You have comparative peace, comparative stability, comparative progress, and I will urge you to maintain it, sustain it. The other thing I want to say is I want to thank both the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Chief Justice, because in their presentation they all ended on the same point, that look, we want to keep what we have. We don't want to lose these obvious things: stability, peace, progress, camaraderie, and unity within the country. But we are open to discussion. We are open to dialogue. We are open to negotiation, but not at all cost. Not at the expense of what we cherish and what we have achieved. And I cannot agree more. I believe you must maintain that position, ready to talk, ready to dialogue, and ready to negotiate, but from position of strength, not from position of weakness. Then I will end, or I will conclude. Whatever happens, the people of this community, the 4 million people, will continue to exist. And then what should we be thinking for them? Mr. President, I believe the first thing that you must do at all costs is pay undivided attention to education. Education of your people. It doesn't matter what happens, whether you remain as part of a larger group with reasonable autonomy, or you remain as an entity on your own. The education of your children and your youth will matter in the immediate and in the not too distant future. That's number one. Number two, the quality of education must not be reduced. As I was going around, I saw university this, university that, and then I asked, are these private universities or public? I think most of them that I have seen are private. The quality of those universities must be ensured to be high. Otherwise, you will make a ridicule of your higher education. And I will plead that those who want to, private sector, who want to show interest in education, maybe in tertiary education, they will be helping the country better if they pay attention to technical and technological education, which the country will continue to need. The third point I will make, whatever you do, ensure that the future is not mortgaged on the altar of the present. The future is not mortgaged on the altar of the present. And that is very, very important. Mr. President, let me, on behalf of Brentford Foundation and on behalf of our small delegation comprising of me, Greg, Emily, and my own assistant, make this presentation of these books to you.